When Associate Professor Dr. Alexander Deveraux strode into the Ramsay Lecture Theatre at the University of Oxford, the air was sucked out of Samuel Aiken's lungs, and he struggled to catch a breath. Alexander Deveraux moved with effortless grace. Black, silky hair fell past his shoulders and framed a long, angular face that displayed more than a hint of androgyny, what with razor-sharp cheekbones and well-shaped brows. His sapphire blue eyes were deep-set, feline and shrewd. His nose was aquiline, and his lips were thin and held in a studious straight line. Dr. Deveraux was not attired like any professor Sam had ever seen. His military-style coat clung to his tall, thin frame like a glove, and made him look more like one of the students than a member of staff. Occasionally the joker, 16-and-a-half-year-old Sam Aiken had a fascination with finding ways to make miserable-looking people smile. This mischievous streak appeared to have gotten him into trouble because Sam knew the moment he met Dr. Deveraux's blue-eyed gaze that he was well and truly screwed. Sam recognized the man. To his horror, this man was the cute passenger who'd sat in the opposite seat to Sam on the London Paddington to Oxford train that very morning. Sam had been shamelessly eyeing him up for the whole journey, trying to make his beautiful thin mouth break into a grin. The traveller stayed silent and introverted for the journey, listening to music on his iPod, and he never cracked a smile, not even once. And so on arrival in Oxford, Sam exited the train feeling unimpressed and defeated. Thinking about that morning's train ride made Sam blush. He wished he could hide his face in his hands, but no, that would not help. There was no escape from this embarrassing situation. He was overwhelmed at seeing the man from the train again, a man he'd found so intensely mysterious and captivating. Sam's pulse raced uncontrollably, and all rational thought escaped him. It was going to be a long first day back. The Oxford University terms were split into Michaelmas from October to December, Hilary from January to March, and Trinity from the end of April to mid-June. Sam had returned to his studies after the Christmas break for his final Hilary term to discover his tutor, Professor Alfred Moxley, had passed away over the holidays. Sam was unaware of the circumstances of his death. Professor Moxley had been a well-spoken, rotund, bookish Irishman in his late 60s, and it was to have been his last year in academia before retirement. Sam had been fond of the old man ever since they'd first met over 3 years ago. It had been difficult for Sam to adjust to university life at the tender age of 14. He'd lost his mother to cancer, and in the intervening years his sister Annabel was to be his only source of any kind of maternal affection or guidance. Professor Alfred Moxley behaved like a father figure during Sam's years at Oxford, more than his own father had ever done, and so his sudden death cut Sam deeply. The group of students sitting in the Ramsay Lecture Theatre was just 6 months away from graduation, and all of them were majoring in linguistics. Sam was also studying Arabic as his second subject. The majority of Sam's classmates were in their early 20s. He was by far the youngest student on their course, and, in fact, the youngest student attending Oxford University. It had been at the university's discretion as to whether they accepted young protégés as students, but Sam's father, Sir James Aiken's healthy financial donations paved the way for his only son to secure a place at the prestigious university college. Alexander Deveraux was fascinatingly different. Sam was intrigued and sure as hell that he had never been so deeply attracted to another man before. Not that there had been many other men. And so, as he struggled to breathe and gather his thoughts, Sam watched Dr. Deveraux place his messenger bag on the worn oak lecture table, send a glare to the handful of students scattered around the large hall, and unbutton his black military coat. A lump grew in Sam's throat as the buttons were slowly undone, one by one, revealing a smart, pale shirt, tie and vest ensemble. And then a lump grew in Sam's jeans when Dr. Deveraux's eyes fell upon him, pinned him, and stayed there. Dr. Deveraux gave a wide, brilliant smile at noticing Sam's discomfiture. Sam had done a little research and asked a few questions about the man who was taking Professor Moxley's place, and one of the few solid facts that Sam found out was that Dr. Deveraux was queer. And so, that pulse-quickening smile and flirtatious stare communicated something more to Sam than it would have done to the other straight students. The new tutor slipped off the long military coat, folded it, and laid it over the back of a chair. "Mon Dieu!" he turned and exclaimed dramatically. "Why are you all spread around the room like this, for God's sake? There are only 12 of you."